What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining. Stick with me for a little bit if you want to learn more about the markets. If you click the video, you're meant to be here. I appreciate all of you that stopped by and all that are coming back to watch another RD charting idea review, chart review. I wanted to take a quick look at Google. I will try not to re-record this video too much and just give you some thoughts here and try to make this fairly concise. I'll timestamp the video in case it gets long in the tooth or we cover some different things. But yeah, let's talk about Google a little bit. I actually had forgotten that I did some long-term trend work on Google. And let's go up to that long-term time frame. But I'm losing my train of thought already. Google did have like a long-term kind of trade idea that I had drawn out 6-month time frame. So why am I going over it? Well, they just had earnings last night, and you might know they just had earnings last night. The market reacted very positively to the earnings here in Google. And so I was like, oh, I guess I'll look at the chart again. I have like one share of Google that now I'm up, or I ended up being now 15% up on it, which is like $20. So, that's like a meal, a dining meal. But I was like, well, and then when I looked at my analysis, I was like, oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna buy like I forget what my percentage is exactly. It's probably a little over 2% here at the moment now on Google. But based on my like analysis, I was like, well, I forgot there's like a long-term trend in Google, and I just thought, yeah, 2.23% right now. And I was like, well, I'll buy a bit of Google and just kind of in the hopes that this trend will kind of continue to play out. 2.23% position for me. I can sit through some volatility on that front. Um, you can see how Google has moved within this trend, and actually we will get down into some hard-nosed work in this review. And again, I'll timestamp this so you can skip around if you want. You don't want to stick through all the really intense like review session. But you can see how Google has moved within this long-term trend idea. And now we're on the monthly chart, so each bar here is 1 month period. um, it did try to move up to that target, and you might see this theme a little bit if you watch some of my videos. It tries to move up to this target, but we're kind of early in the long-term trend, right? So it's when you're early in the long-term trend idea, a lot of times the market will push an asset up or down if it's a downtrend, but it'll try to downtrend idea. But the market will try to push an asset up, and it gets people excited. People are really really excited about the idea, the stock, and whatnot. Well, and then in classic market fashion, there's pullbacks. So and that's why, again, if it's something early in a trend, or if there's something that's really starting, is something that's moving higher a lot, you really want to try to temper your excitement. And that's where being disciplined about entering with 1% position. Like I said, I had one share of Google, because I wasn't really sure how it was going to move, but I was like, I want to track it. I just have one share of Google. Um, and now I have a 2.2% position in Google. So again, it's not massively exposed because, again, I don't want a huge amount of volatility in my portfolio as much as I can help it. Um, Again, some trades I might take more risk, but here again, I just want to try to participate in a potential trend up to this 220 level. Um, and without, if Google ends up pulling back $30 or something, I'm not pulling my hair out, um, pulling my hair out because am too exposed to Google. So again, that's why it's fine to enter here, but with 1 to 2%, if 2%, is like max exposure, I would say on an initial kind of initial entry type of thing. Because again, maybe you get excited when it's up here, but hopefully you're staying disciplined because you understand, okay, Google's kind of close to this 3 standard deviation on the 150 moving average on the monthly, and I want to be careful. It is potentially could pull back a little bit, and when it does pull back, maybe you think, okay, great, like this is my chance to now add up to a 3 or 4% position in my portfolio. So um, just kind of talking about that um, from the position sizing perspective. Now, again, I said we will get into a little bit of detailed work here. Um, because actually, again, I haven't looked at the Google chart too much because I only had one share just to hold it, and make sure I'm not totally um, want to keep up with Google at least somewhat, because it is a good company. I love YouTube. YouTube is my favorite, and it's kind of the question is, right, like, is Google going to end up winning streaming wars? Because YouTube is an awesome streaming platform, and it's the one of the only ones I have because I watch a lot of YouTube. There's a lot of people I like to watch and um, whatnot. So just drawing this again, we're using this consolidation period to look at now where can Google go based off this monthly signal, and that's quite interesting, right? So Google did signal this monthly period here, um, and it was already really close to that target. And what happened when it reached that target? Well, it pulled back. So if you're familiar with the method, you're doing your analysis with the method, and it hits that target. This is why I've said in the past, it's kind of a decent idea to take profits at these target levels because a lot of times there's a pullback after hitting these areas. But sometimes, if it's a strong asset, if the trend is strong, sometimes it does keep going up. Um, but in this case, of course, Google pulled back a bit. Um, you know what? And I'm also going to draw this. No, I don't think that'll work really on that level, on that front. Um, but we can take a look here on the weekly time frame. Oh, get the box there. Take a look here on the weekly time frame. And of course there was a signal here due to earnings, and so it's trying to get back up to that monthly target, from back here, and based off this analysis. So I guess you've probably seen me, if you watch my videos, you see me do this before, but we double the box and see, is there a chance? So yeah, again, if now obviously we have the election coming up, it's going to get kind of interesting. What is the market reaction going to be like? You could easily get something where Google kind of comes back into this area, into this region, because maybe the market doesn't perform as well and it drags Google down with it. Um, but if the trends and everything remain strong based off of this monthly analysis, you could potentially get a move up into the upper 200s. And that's long term. If you look down at the bottom of the screen, somewhere, but that's all through, you know, it could potentially be through, July 2025. And this whole 6 month trend idea is all the way out into 2026. So again, this, in terms of trading, this is a long-term play. Um, if you're trading, you want to bear down probably on the daily time frames, or even less. or even shorter time frames potentially. Um, because again, anything else you're looking at potentially holding for a long time. And if you're a trader, it's hard to hold for a long time. But as an investor, you know, it's certainly not out of the question to um, buy a little bit of Google, even though it's had a big move. Again, don't buy like with a 5% portfolio position. Maybe buy with 1 to 2% position here, and then just see how it moves. And you want to just give it time. You know, um, and then you can add over time as you feel comfortable. Uh, those kinds of things. So you can see it's pulled back a bit um, here, just again, kind of selling off a little bit after that initial earnings reaction. So only time will tell how exactly it plays out overall. So hope you enjoyed. I know a little longer video, but I'll timestamp it and just want to go over this quickly for us. But I'm going to put this out. What, however the quality is, I'm going to put it out for us and give you an update slash my thoughts on Google. So have a good one. See you in the next one. Bye bye.